Hi, this is Axosis, a channel that sometimes look at other Bandai hobby offerings. This time we are looking at the Unko Cyber Warrior. The Unko Cyber Warrior is a new line in the Bandai hobby catalog that combines plastic model with traditional clay model. As you can see, we have a pack of paper clay that comes with the kit, and you're supposed to keep it sealed because it's air dry, and I have built the rest of the parts already. This video will be slightly different from my usual SAGA video because I want to demonstrate part of the gimmick that is to make the Unko out of the paper clay with the mold. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of the parts. Here are the Cyber Warrior's arms. As you can see, they have two color parts. A matte black that is the same sort of surface like the paper clay will dry into, and then a clear red part, which does have a bit of light piping, but not, you can't really see it in my setup, unfortunately. The forearm does not have the luxury of getting these clear parts, so it uses a sticker instead, which kinda works. If we have background lights and foreground lights, this would probably match the shoulder. You can replace one of the arm with a cannon, which have a protrusion for the sticker that you may know I am not a big fan of, so I didn't put anything on it, but I included here for you to see how it works. They are on a little ball joint, so you got a bit of movement and you can play around with the extension. But yeah, we're going to continue with a hand that is on the same ball joint. You will notice there are these tabs on the back of the hand or the forearm. They are for the weapons. So as typical Gundam style, let's put them like this. On the right hand, let's give it the sword. The sword is all clear, very cyber. The shield have clear and solid parts. That's cool. Here are the legs. Once again, the shins does not have the luxury of a clear part, but the foot does. And here you can see the difference between having slight light piping and no light piping at all. But yeah, otherwise simple ball joint legs. So we got a headband, a chest piece, and the part for the eyes. The eyes do have sculpts in them, a typical anime style of eye sculpture. You can see a bit of the light collection. I will keep it like this. You're supposed to put sticker sheet on it for the different emotes, but I want to see the effect of this clear green on the green clay. As for the headband, once again, with the clear red parts, it does have more surface area, so it is clearer about the light piping. Same goes for the chest. In fact, the chest piece, with the big window on the chest, you can clearly see it is transparent. But yeah, the same matte surface that the paper clay will dry into, that is nice. You don't have to make them chest plate and headband, but that's the suggestion method, so that's what we will do. Here is the Unko mold. Two pieces clamped together with a tension tab to keep it in, and then a screw cap that you can open and reuse this mold very easily. And now we open this pack of paper clay. Release it from its moisture. Actually, just tear it. Should be fine. Yeah. This is very moist. This is more moist than the wrinkles suggest. It's not terrible though, but yeah, it's moist. So this is our block. Let's give it a bit of squeeze. God. So that is a bit more even. Typically you want them in a bar to go into the mold so that you can get the shape on roughly before you put the lid on. You can see how it is not fully filled. That's fine. That's what the lid is for. It's for compressing the clay into the mold. Now, as with most threaded thing, you don't want to cause threads. They do have like giant tabs to go into the screw rails, so that's easy enough. You can see some clay coming out, and then you just screw it in. Wait, I don't think that's even. Yep, there you go, that's locked in. We got a bit from the side, that's okay. And let's take out a bit of the excess. You have opening on the side in case the clay run to the rail, and then the middle part. This is it. You can see now the clay is fully in the mold. And we're going to unscrew it now because we do want to stick our parts onto our Unko. If I can find the opening, there we go. It's a loose situation. Get rid of that tension tab and then just open up from the hinge, from here. They actually got some tension tab up here, so let's open up our Unko. That's a lot of screw bits. That's okay. Come on, I don't want to deform my Unko. There we go. Oh, that's a bit of damage to my Unko. That's fine. This is just paper clay, easily fixable. In fact, let's keep this beautiful part to be non-disturbed, and just add our parts on this side. I'm not sure how the eye will look like. This is my answer. A bit of a hologram, that's fine. Not totally straight, that's fine for me too. It's not designed to be completely, symmetrical. And then the chest piece kind of looks like a mouth, that's cool too. And let's stick the arms on. Let us stick them in the recess, and then the legs. There we go, one Unko Cyber Warrior. The shield is a bit too heavy, actually. Let me get rid of it. And yeah, it is a bit soft. So what I'm going to do, because this is super soft, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the Unko in the mold to dry overnight. And you won't even see that going because I will make a cut here. And you may be wondering, this ball joint looks familiar. Are they going to work with Gunpla or other Bandai systems? We have a core Gundam that I took off the arm beforehand to see if these ball joints will fit. The answer is no, not from the shoulder. What about the arm ball joint? That is too loose. Sure, what about the arm ball joint on the hand ball joint? Nope, that is too tight. Can't go in there. Next, we are going to see if the fist joint is a 3mm. Nope, it's a bit larger than that. And let's check if the barrel is a 3mm, which is. So you can put in 3mm effect on the Unko Cyber Warrior's cannon. As to how to mount this cannon on your Gunpla or other like 30mm mission models, that would be up to you to customize. And here we go, 24 hours later. I think our Unko is solidified. I do like how the mold is like a aura around our Unko. That's pretty cool. The eyes are like a hologram. That's cool too. And I see the seam lines, and now I think I know why they recommend you to stick the part not around the seam, but we will see if our Unko broke in half. No, it's fine. It just have a seam down the middle. Let's see if it can stand on its own. It's pretty light. Nope, not really. It feels malleable, or it is soft. It's definitely very light for clay. There is a bit of tension on the ball joints, enough to keep it short, but not quite enough to keep it around. Anyways, standing, I think it have a bit of deform during the drying process, so yeah, it's a bit droopy. Nope, definitely want to be like this. Oh well, I can probably cure this part by adding some water, but I'm probably just going to leave it as is. But yeah, like I said, the black is like the rest of the paper clay, so that's fine. The chest piece actually works pretty well with the light color gray, so that's cool too. The light piping, good enough I guess. And yeah, there is quite a bit of excess of clay that can fill almost half an Unko. Not quite full. Let's see if I can get this out. Oh, there you go. A part Unko. Obviously, without the pressure from the seal, it is not as pretty of an Unko, but probably more realistic. Let's put the shield back on to our Cyber Warrior. Still a bit droopy. Oh well. Gimmick wise, it's definitely a good gimmick. Okay, let's start from the top. Style, I think style is fine. Having stickers are fine. The black and the clear red and the stickers works well together. And the Unko is relatively beautiful. The mold is definitely pretty cool. So I want to give it an S for style, because action wise not that great, because of how fresh the clay was kept, like how good it was kept. It's very easy to not get a good. I mean, you can keep trying to fix it, but it would just keep digging into the feet. You're not going to get a solid feet position with your fresh Unko. What you might want to do for a decent action figure that you can play for a lot is you left it into the mold for a bit longer than we did, probably an hour. It's kind of hardened, but not completely. Then you stick the legs in and basically let it sit, let it set, and then add the arms on, yada yada yada. There's definitely some balance issue if you want to stick the legs on with all the gears. The way the clay sort of deform on its own, if it wasn't halfway set, really hurts it. So not really mentioned in the manual. The manual sort of let you make the Unko and then tell you to stick everything in. But again, your environment varies. If you're in a humid place, you may probably need to wait longer for the optimal stick things in period. In a drier place, you might want to stick it as soon as possible. Either way, these are just paper clay. You can easily replace them, even if, what you did the first time isn't great. But yeah, style-wise, perfectly fine. Action, because the clay requires a bit more finesse to get ideal consistency for actually good action where I can hold on to the weapons other than straight down and straight out. And really heavily depends on the weapon if, it's holding well. So I would give it a B given how little articulation really are there. Despite there is actually an elbow, that is a surprise, to be honest. Next is gimmick. Definitely a great gimmick. You can use your own clay with different colors. You can mix clay colors. You can reuse the mold as many times as you haven't destroyed it. These are just paper clay. It's relatively clean. So unless you mis-store it and get a lot of dirt on it, but you can clean it with soap. So gimmick wise, I would also give it an S. Very, very good gimmick. And finally, for absence, I would say there isn't any absence. You get a clay model with a bit of accessory that is sort of an action figure, not really. The extra parts looks nice on their own. You can use it on your other projects. I really have no complaint. I mean, sure, there's this mark where the cap cuts the clay off, but that's very minor. It's at the bottom. Yeah, you need the sticker for the eyes expressions, but the clear eyes, you can customize it the way you want, so that's not a problem either. You got a bit of extra clay, so you can fix it or do other things with your Unko. That's also great. I think it's somewhere around 500 yen. Let me check. 900 yen, bit more than your Zugok. So I guess I will deduct some point on absence. Not a lot of points because I don't think this is a bad deal for 900 yen. Just shocked. Yeah, just shocked is actually 900 yen. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think this is a good new entry into the educational model kits. We used to have quite a few of those from Tamiya, but Tamiya doesn't update them throughout all these years. They were the same as I was a kid as they are now. Maybe they update the technology in there a bit, but that is mostly the same kit. This, the Unko Warrior, is definitely having a lot more new technology. You can build this toolless. you can just buy this and build it straight away. There's no not really a bar of entry. A for absence for could be cheaper, just to fit into the 500 yen one coin store shelves, but they are doing more than one coin these days anyways. As an export, I guess 900 yen is also reasonable. So yeah, the verdict is S for style, B for action, S for gimmick, and A for absence. Overall, if you want to try something new, this is great. The only problem is you can't really let it sit into your backlog for too long. Eventually, the clay will lose its moisture, but that probably took a while. Like, even if the clay is gone, you can buy crafting clay fairly easily at your local crafting store, stationery stores. So there's no worry about that. Sure, that's extra expenses, but compared to having needing tools or other things, this is very good. Thanks for watching. See you next time.